I think it corrects the propaganda that is put about. I mean, essentially, we constantly hear from the people that would like to see Kashmir succeed to Pakistan that in somehow, shape or form, this was always originally part of Pakistan. Well, quite clearly, a decision was made by the Maharaja, that's a decision he made, to succeed to India, and he made it in 1947, before Pakistan or India became independent. It may be controversial, but you can't change history. So part and parcel of this is that as part of the historical aspects, we need to correct the position so that when we argue about the history, we do so from a feeling of constant capability of what actually happened, as opposed to what people think happened. So by correcting the record, we do bring forward the fact of this was what was originally intended, and all that's happened since is a process of state-sponsored terrorism to force people to leave their homes, and then after they've left their homes, looking at the people that have left behind having the opportunity to decide what happens to Jammu and Kashmir. Well, that's got to be wrong. I mean, the fact is that refugees have to have a say in the future of that state. And I think quite clearly the position is that most people want Jammu and Kashmir to be part of India as a secular India rather than being embroiled in a Muslim state. And I think that's why this has to be brought to the fore. Now, in terms of it being controversial, in terms of stoking fires, no, far from it. What I do think we do is put it on the historical basis so that when we argue about it, it's brought up properly.
So the whole narrative has changed to Kashmir as a country and Kashmiris want independence. And that's wrong because all the state that you're talking about is not Kashmir. It's Jammu and Kashmir. And there's Ladakh in it, there's Gilgit-Baltistan. If you look at the historic sort of reference, it's the whole region you're talking about. And Kashmiris, it's not just about the Kashmiris, it's Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the community that was affected through the exodus in 1990 and a few other times before that, where invasion and attacks and religious persecution took place, the Kashmiri Hindus were targeted and asked to leave, convert, or die. And in this country now today, the battle that we are fighting is purely of an identity and of this whole misinformed, misrepresented agenda. And the effort today was purely to bring back, the history the way it is, and to educate and inform and enlighten people, not just the members of the public, but also parliamentarians here who fan the whole agenda because their constituents, the vote bank tells them something to do, and they do it without thinking, without reading, without educating themselves on what exactly is the whole history of Jammu and Kashmir. It's who we call the Pakistan-occupied Kashmiris, the ones who call themselves Azad Kashmiris. They're at the forefront of this because they are the only ones. There are a very, very small Sunni Muslim community who are constantly fanning the idea that all Kashmiris want independence, but all Kashmiris do not want independence. The instrument of accession is proof that Jammu and Kashmir decided in 1947 that they are a part of India, and it has been so. There have been elections in the valley, in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The people of Jammu and Kashmir have an elected government, state government there. They're very much part of the democratic process in India. So this whole misrepresentation of this whole agenda is wrong. There are questions around the instrument of accession, everything. We've clarified today that it was in fact full and final, and Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India, and that's it. And what is wrong is really what Dr. Karan Singh said, and we quoted him earlier today, that it's the hijacking of the territory, the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. That's what has been wrong. Illegally, they have occupied that part of Jammu and Kashmir, and they need to recede, and they need to go back. And I think the government of India is now slowly beginning to sort of take that line as well. And I'm glad they have, finally, after all these years, they're beginning to sound the right sort of narrative. My view is Jammu and Kashmir isn't part of India. People made that choice. That choice was made and it was final. People abide by that. They participate in the elections. They participate in the democratic process. So that referendum is just baseless. I do not agree to that.